TWRA website. Back in May, TWRA held 2 public workshops that were very successful in generating public input about the plan. Now that a draft of the plan is complete, TWRA would like the public to review that plan and submit comments. Camellia Simmons of Dalton State has been named the NAIA Men's Basketball National Player of the Week. National office announced earlier this week. Simmons was chosen for his performance from January 8th through the 14th and was selected out of a full conference award winners. Meanwhile, the Dalton State men's basketball team has moved up to number 13 in the latest NAIA coaches poll. Sam Jordan, News Talk 92.7 Sports Now.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through your nighttime. Cold overnight, lows mid and upper 20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Light cold, highs up around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Hat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks, just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports Now.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the confines of the Sports Talk with Sam Jordan studios here at Nooga Radio. I'm Sam Jordan, of course. You see and hear me each and every night. With me to, well, I guess be to my left, Nick LaFew with the Chattanooga Eagles. And we'll also be having Hayden. We'll talk with him once he gets here.
Yeah.
He's just goofing around. I don't know why. I'm sure he's listening, so we're picking on him.
I think we should.
Yes.
That's the only way to do it.
Right. All right. Chattanooga Eagles are going to be a part of Nooga Radio beginning February 24th when they start their season, their second season here in the Chattanooga area. And they're going to be taking on a, well, I don't guess the right term would be nemesis. They're your next door neighbor. Proximity.
Would make it a nemesis, right?
Yeah. So a little backyard brawl will be going on at Chattanooga Central coming up on February 24th. And it will be a good indicator to see how well the coaching staff and the management for both teams have put together their teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a great indication for us. You know, it's a preseason game for us. They're going to be starting their season right around that time. So to see kind of where we're at, you know, only starting up in December and starting in pads in February. So we'll see where we are. It's a good barometer for us.
Now you've had several practices, even before this cold snap has kind of put a little damper on things. Who shows up? Step on in here. We'll put you in the middle. You can be the thorn between two roses. And
you guys talking about me out there.
So you do listen. Yes, and anyway, last name again. Clark.
Yes,
right. Hayden Clark. He's the head coach of the Chattanooga Eagles. This question, from what you've seen in practices and everything, how's the team look?
Well, the team looks really good right now. You know, the defense is flying around really fast. A lot of those guys returned. We do have a couple of new guys stepping in and play defensive back for us, so we look forward to that being a really strong point of our football team. The offense, you know, it's coming. We ask a lot out of those guys. Last week, actually, got a little upset because we didn't perform the way we need to, but they're getting there, man. We got a new guy stepping in at quarterback. Okay. He's going to give our guy from last year a run for his money and maybe allow Colby from last year to step out and play receiver. So we'll see how that goes.
Now, the play and everything has been pretty good. It's not because of the coaching, from what I understand, right?
It's always our fault.
It's the lightheartedness you got to like about these two in particular. They can almost have a comedy show routine and do very well with it. Coach Clark, I mean, with this, Nick and I were talking off air, with the way that the divisions are lined up, which I think is a little screwy, in my opinion. Yep. Someone is really of the divisions. Yes. That's just an opinion, but you know what they say about opinions.
Everybody's got one, right?
Right. But, you do have a couple teams with Huntsville and Alabama, East Alabama, that have been pretty good, formidable foes that you faced here this past year. Do you feel like that the level of play with being in the extreme conference in the Western Division is going to be a very good indicator? I mean, for how good the play is going to be, not really knowing what the schedule is yet.
Schedule is supposed to release at some point here in the next week or two. We also obviously know that Huntsville is going to be there. We have a ton of respect for Huntsville. Huntsville's a really great organization. They have a really good group of guys that run that. I'd like to think we probably run a similar ship as they do. Yeah. So they're a great football team, man. Every down last year counted when we played those guys. Fortunately for us, we came out on top in the series of 2-1. But the rest of the guys in our division, I think that's kind of what I guess we can kind of compare it to the East and West to a certain extent. You got all these football teams that are very similar in the East, and then you have that one powerhouse over there in the West, which is obviously Oklahoma. I'm really familiar with that side of the conference. We do, come in contact with a couple of those guys, but the East Conference is kind of up in the air. Obviously we took it last year. We had a couple things go our way against specifically Huntsville, but that West side, man, you pretty much know who's going to take that.
Yeah, the one thing that Nick and I were looking at in the alignment of the teams, the Memphis team, which is very tight with the league commissioner and everything, has pretty much got a couple of patsies that is going to be lined up in it. And it's like, one of the things that you're going to find with me when we do the football games, call it like I see it.
Yep.
All right. So that's why I'm saying some of the divisions are stacked.
Yep.
Some are very competitive. And others, well, there's left to be desired, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things that
but you take it. What's presented to you. You're going to have to play the good and the bad.
Exactly. And to a certain extent, I think the conferences are done well because you don't want to put those powerhouses against the people at the lower side, because you don't want a 0-18 going against the 7-0 team at the end of the season.
Right.
You kind of want to even it out as much as possible. Obviously, in every league that you find, there's going to be a front runner, and one of those leagues, you're not going to be able to do away with that. So it does. Sometimes you can look at that and be like, wow, that's not a very good division.
Yeah.
But then again, you can look at one and be like, wow, that's a stacked division. But you'll see throughout the season that everybody in our league competes.
Right.
So, that's like Memphis. I talk to their owner quite often. We're in the playoff hunt, not last year, but the year before that, they made a run to the semifinals. And then the year after that, they were fighting for their life in the last game of the season and ended up not making the playoffs.
Right.
So I think that's really good balance, and throughout the entire league, you never know who's going to get in and who's going to get out.
Right. And it's like in the Gridiron Development Football League, you've added the PA Football League and the Ohio Football League. And, with that, I was involved with the Erie Express for the last couple of years. And it's like, even though the Express usually made it to the playoffs consistently and everything, there was a team that had only won one game the entire season. And, it was toward the end. And it just kind of created havoc. So that's why you can never take for granted, those teams that may not be such great teams and everything. You've got the Dalton Danger coming up, as briefly before you came strolling in here, just picking on you. But, it's like a little backyard rivalry, even though it's not a league game for Chattanooga. It is a league game for Dalton, I understand.
Yes, sir.
But as you've had your practices and everything, how do you feel that Chattanooga is preparation wise? Do you feel like they're almost there or what?
I don't, of course, being the head coach and seeing things from the bigger point of view, I never think we're there yet.
Right.
There's always something we have to improve on. But I will say at the point where we are now, we're in a very good position to be a very good football team this year. We are much further along than we were last year at this time. Last year, we on the way home from practice, we were down home and be like, golly, we might not win a game. And then we ended up.
Sometimes your coach will think that.
Yeah, and then we ended up going 9-2 and made a run for the championship. So,
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's tough because we don't practice every day. And we do run a very complex offense with a lot of formations. The plays are simplified, but the lingo is there. It's not, it's not easy stuff. So these guys have a lot to learn in 3 to 4 hours a week practice.
Now, your GM over here, Nick LaFew, said that you've already trimmed the coaching staff already by one.
Yeah.
Was that an easy decision?
No, and that's one of the things that's actually kind of put a pretty good little toll on me here lately. As of yesterday, we lost one of our staff members that had been with us since the beginning, kind of unexpectedly. I love that guy to death.
Well, that's not the one we're referring to.
No, I think he's
you talking about this guy?
Yeah, he kept me from the coach staff.
Well, yeah, he's always going to be a coach.
Okay.
So it is what it is. He is going to be, running everything else and hopefully making it easier for me stepping out. So, hopefully this guy losing a coach is always, it's always tough.
Right.
But I feel like we have enough people around us that can step in and do what they need to do.
Now, Nick, I know you've been rather quiet, which is unusual for you.
Very true.
He's never quiet.
Yeah, true. What kind of an experience can a fan expect to see when they come to see a Chattanooga Eagles football game?
Well, first and foremost, the best thing about it is that during the summer, you're going to be able to watch football, which is something where you get the itch after the Super Bowl. You just go about a month and, okay, ready for some football. That's going to be the best thing. There's going to be a lot more fan interaction this year, obviously, with me getting to step away from the coaching side and not have to worry about the X's and O's during the game. We'll do a lot more fan interaction, especially during halftime, do some contests, do some stuff like that. We had a kicking contest last year during one of our games that went really well. So there's going to be a lot more of involvement, making sure the fans enjoy more of the experience than just the actual football game itself.
Now, one of the things that always helps, and I'm coming from my side of things during the daytime, the promotional and the sales aspect of things. I know that you're always looking for sponsors and everything to, businesses to help support the team. How can they find out more? Who do they contact, whether it be you or whom, about being part of the Chattanooga Eagles? You're a championship team and you're looking to continue that trend forward.
Yeah, we're definitely wanting, especially local businesses, to be a part of what we do. We want to be more than just a football team. We want to be something positive for this community, positive for these guys that play for us, and an opportunity for you to be a part of the organization with us. You can always reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is Chattanooga Eagles Football. You can message us on there. Hayden or I will be on there to answer, and we can give you a direct number to one of us. Yeah, mostly me. And we'll get it taken care of. Obviously, anything that you can do to help us out, we'll do whatever we can to help you, whoever you are.
Now, are we going to see Chattanooga Eagles garb out there somewhere?
Yes, you will.
Oh, yeah.
We're working on that for the season itself, to have like a small fan shop, to have things to sell to fans so they can have stuff. Obviously, our team gear is stuff that our guys are able to get themselves, but we're going to have a specific fan shop at games so folks can buy T-shirts, hats, stuff like that.
All right. So we talked a little bit about Huntsville and then also with the other team.
Oklahoma?
No.
East Alabama Predators.
East Alabama, yeah. Do you feel like, those are definitely going to be your two biggest rivals during the season? And, with the other teams that are in the other divisions, no matter how chopped up it may be, who else do you feel is going to be somebody that, could be developing into a good rivalry game each season?
Yeah, the Georgia Crush, they're a really good organization as well. We played them 3 times last year, went 3-0, but they were all very close games. I think one of them was a 2-point game, one of them was a 6-point game, I believe, and then the last one I don't even remember what it was, but it always came down. It always came down to crunch time. So I do know that they lost one of their strongest positions last year was quarterback. They had an unbelievable quarterback, like probably one of the most fun guys I've ever had to watch. Or, I'm standing over here on the sideline coaching against him. I'm like, wow, that was a nice throw. It's just one of those things. I think Georgia Crush, they'll be up there running again this year. They played us in the semifinals last year. We only played East Alabama once last year. We played them at their place. It kind of got a little runaway game, but they had an injury early on that kind of dampened the whole game. So it was he actually broke
his femur.
Yeah, broke his femur. It
was on a non-contact.
Yeah,
play.
it was a strange developing play. So they kind of went, obviously at that level, you care more about the person than you do the game and actually what's going on. So I think they're a really good organization. They're doing a lot of stuff this year that I've been seeing. And last year they didn't have that. They're promoting very well. They have a lot of professional stuff out there that you can see right now. But those are the 3 teams I guess you can kind of look out for. But I think the thing that most concerns me going into this year, now everybody knows about us.
All right.
We played last year in the championship game. So now we're going to get everybody's best at week in and week out.
Okay. Now, out of the practices that you've had here in December and a little bit here this month and everything, are there still some holes that you're looking to fill?
There's all, we're open to any players that can play. Anybody that wants to come out there and play, because depth is your number one priority, especially at this organization. I don't want to call it a hole, because I do feel like if we stepped out and played tomorrow, that every position would be filled, probably to the greatest, to the greatest that we could fill. But if anybody would want to come out there and play, nobody has a spot guaranteed right now. If somebody shows up,
or at least not that you're telling them.
None of them will know it until February 3rd will be our first official depth chart release.
Okay.
So that'll be a lot of fun. We can bring that on air as well. Maybe release it on here. That'd be a lot of fun. So we could definitely, February 3rd, we do our coaches retreat.
Yeah.
We'll go out of town for a night. We'll all get together and discuss depth charts. Have some bonding time with our coaching staff and our support staff.
Sure, you want him to go along?
He can stay here and work on some other stuff.
We'll see how always throw in my 2 cents.
No matter if it's worth a cent or not.
Exactly.
Most of the time it's not, but it is.
All right. Some of the players that were on last year's team that have came back, they want to play again. Some of those players you feel like have a good opportunity, and you want to name some of those?
Yeah, of course. You have Colby Copeland, who is probably one of the best athletes I've ever been around in my entire life. From playing to coaching, all that stuff. He actually got drafted by the Miami Marlins. Second round in baseball. Had some, some circumstances not go his way. Had to come back here. So now he's playing with us. He played quarterback for us last year. Played some receiver. I think he ended last year in 4 games with like 8 catches and had like 4 touchdowns. So he just makes plays. And then he switched over to quarterback and lit it up there. I think he turned the ball over 1 time. And then, led us to a championship run. So Colby will definitely have a spot somewhere. He's got the if factor. So Colby will play for us. There's a couple linebackers that we have, and Jonathan Robinson and Darius Chalk. All those guys, they're really, really good football players. So those guys, they're going to find somewhere to play. It's a matter of
those are about the only 3 that you would guarantee right now.
I still don't want to guarantee them anything, because if somebody comes in this Saturday and takes it, then, if they're better, then they're going to play.
How much desire do they have?
They got it.
Yeah.
They have it. They're bought completely in. Those guys, if I asked them to be here in 5 minutes, they'd be here. So they get it. And that's the steps we're trying to take.
If you can only get that from Nick.
Yeah. That's the problem.
He was only here an hour early.
He's got it going on that aspect.
He's
got it going.
Always early.
And then he's busting on you coming from Collegedale over to here.
If we can just get the production side out of this guy, we'd be all right.
Hey, it'll come. We'll focus on the process.
Yeah.
What else can the community do to help support the Eagles?
Just come to the game. Come have fun. I hate begging for money. I hate doing the sponsorship stuff. Obviously, it's needed. Mm-hmm. We need as much as we can get, to help these guys out and get the best product they can. But at the same time, the biggest thing to me, if nobody ever gave $1 to us, just come watch these guys. Come support these guys. Come have fun with them. There's fan interaction to be there. It's a really good family environment. Everybody gets to come out on a Saturday night, just have fun, or a nice football game, all that good stuff. So it's just, we want people to be there.
And you don't have to necessarily feel you got to be wrapped up in a blanket in September or October. So, you might with this February 24th game.
I hope it
There's
snows.
a very good chance.
I hope it snows. I want a snow game.
I don't.
I want a snow game. I'm all about it.
So what else can we talk about here tonight?
Let's talk about the danger.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been on my list for a little while.
Oh,
yeah,
it sounds like you've got some bad blood.
I respect.
I heard there was a little bit of rating going on.
Yeah, I've heard a couple things of whatever stat lines they go by. It is what it is. They post their rankings. I think they're in the world or in the nation, and I think they're number 3 ranked. I just want to see it. That's it. I just want to see it. We've been trying to get this game lined up for a while now.
Now, is there any little side bets maybe on the side?
No, I won't do any of that stuff. But,
okay.
Maybe with our staff.
Yeah,
but
we'll have some prop bets.
We'll get some of that stuff going. But I think it's going to be a really fun environment. I respect everything they do. I think they're really great. I just think we're pretty good too. So
it'll be really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, okay. I want to see it.
It'll be really good for the city to have this local matchup between two good football teams, and to be able to see, how great this city really is in talent in football. That kind of goes overlooked sometimes, especially in the recruiting aspect from high school.
Way overlooked.
And
the bulk of the talent that you've seen so far, is it mostly from the Chattanooga vicinity?
Yeah, Chattanooga.
I would say probably 70-80% of it is.
Yeah, you got Chattanooga, some North Georgia, things like that. But most of these guys are from right around here. Lookout Valley, some small schools like that no college recruits everyone out there and say, I want this guy. But we'll take them.
Right.
Because we know what people play. People can play out there. People can play in North Georgia, and they just don't really get the opportunity to go.
It's not like in Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right. We've been talking with Hayden Clark, the head coach of the Chattanooga Eagles, and Nick LaFew with a few words in here, which that's a shocker in itself. And, of course, we'll be back with more coming up here after the break. Chattanooga Eagles and Nooga Radio 92.7 FM going to be a part of each other's world beginning February 24th with the Dalton Danger and the Eagles. So it'll be fun football to listen to.
3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
With temps getting warmer today, especially this afternoon, road conditions should be overall back to normal, but it's back down below freezing overnight. Yet again, all schools in the Chattanooga area are closed except UTC, which has gone back to normal operating hours. Check with your school to be sure you have classes. Dalton police trying to track down a suspected thief. Dalton police are asking for your help identifying a well-dressed shoplifter. Say he got away with a full set of cookware from a department store. According to WDEF, investigators say it happened at the Belks in Hamilton Place. A man in a dark suit and blue tie walked out with a box set of cookware over his shoulder. Chattanooga's Morning News with Russ and Val. Mornings from 6 till 9. The Sean Hannity Show every weekday from 3 to 6 on Nooga Radio. Val St. John reporting. Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
The cash made my ass bounce back.
Cash, and more cash at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Rick's got the gold. Don't miss out. Tired of bank rates as low as 1%?
What? Pee-wee, they stink.
Then you need to go to Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. That's right. Rick guarantees profit. The world is not coming to an end. Whoa, not that kind of profit. Profit. It's not a dirty word. Get your Gold American Eagle certified by the federal government. Own an ounce or 100 ounces. Certified. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. A way to earn money on your gold. Call Rick. 499-9162. 499-9162. 5301 Brader Road. Rick Davis, Chattanooga. Cash, and more. No, gold, and more gold.
The cash made my ass bounce back.
Oh, man, rush. I've got to get stuff for the party. Where can I go that's going to give me a wide selection of beer, wines, and spirits? Oh, I've got it. I'll go to Harry's Wine and Spirits, Signal Mountain. Maybe East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd. I could go to Riley's Wines and Spirits in Hickson. Wow, look at the huge selection in here. Look at these great prices. Amazing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to find something for my lady, too. I'm going to make this party a success.
Make your party a success when you stop in at Harry's Wine and Spirits in Signal Mountain, East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd, and Riley's Wine and Spirits in Hickson. An automated nuclear missile defense system has suddenly entered into launch mode, and you are the only one who can stop it. Escape Experience Chattanooga. Your team has just been infected with a deadly virus. Your only hope? There, in an abandoned farmhouse. Escape Experience Chattanooga. Handcuffed in a maximum security prison, you have an hour to flee. Escape Experience Chattanooga. These escape scenarios and more at Chattanooga's best escape room, game, and team building platform. Call now. Slots are limited. Register online at escapeexperience.com/Chattanooga. Escape Experience Chattanooga.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through your nighttime. Cold overnight, lows mid and upper 20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Light cold, highs up around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks. Locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Hat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Sworn Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core.
Nooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Nooga Radio 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM HD4. Glad to have you along here on this Thursday night. Currently 35 degrees and kind of cool out. And we're glad to have you along here wherever you may be. Chattanooga Mocs are going to be visiting Wofford on Saturday night. They're hitting the road in the new Richardson Indoor Stadium over in Spartansburg, South Carolina. And Southern Conference battle going on between the youthful Mocs and a team that's loaded with all kinds of experience. So it will be an interesting battle, to say the least, with the Mocs. So hopefully we will be hearing about them getting a big victory. And, of course, you can follow them at gomocs.com and, check out the game. Nat Dixon leading Chattanooga into that game, averaging 14 points per game, scoring in double figures, and 9 straight 17.2 points per game over that span. Dixon has also fond memories of the Terriers' former home king, the Mocs, in a 73-65 comeback win in the final visit to Benjamin Johnson Arena. Sophomore guard Mikhail Foreman played 124 of possible 130 minutes over the last 3 contests against Wofford. And, he averages 17 points per game over that same span, shooting 60% or 18 of 30 from the field, 57.9% or 11 of 19 from the 3-point range, making a shade less than 4 per game while making all 4 free throw attempts. So, they're looking at Foreman, Chapman, David John Baptiste, Nat Dixon, and Josh Phillips in securing that lineup. And it's not a bad lineup. I mean, the one thing when I got to catch the Mocs earlier this season, they love to run and gun it, and up and down the court they go in a fast-paced atmosphere. And when they get down toward the arc, then they'll slow it up a little bit and set up for that shot and everything. But the Mocs are a very rounded team, just very young. That's the only thing. That's why we keep saying that the Mocs will be a much better team once they, get this chemistry together and start to gel quite a bit. So, best of luck to the Mocs. Wofford may not be an easy task for them, but this is a game where they've only had 37 previous meetings, and it's the fewest of any Southern Conference opponent. And the Mocs have won the last 4 visits over to Spartanburg. 2 extended visits at the Citadel and Mercer marked the first back-to-back overtime game since 1999. Other than that, it was East Tennessee State and Appalachian State. And just the 4th time in school history with consecutive overtime contests. Overtime maybe this Saturday night. Hopefully there's never been 3 in a row, nor an overtime meeting with Wofford. But, it will be interesting to say the least. Now, I did find out here that the game will be on ESPN3 or the Watch ESPN app. So Mark Hauser and Tom Henson will be having the call of that game. And Jim Reynolds taking care of the Mocs radio broadcast, the legend in our area, over on Real 96.1 FM. And, of course, at TuneIn, where you can search for Chattanooga Mocs radio app. So if you get an opportunity, looking for something to do, you can always check out the Mocs basketball game. Lots to talk about here in this last segment. It was great to have Hayden and Nick in here from the Chattanooga Eagles, and we're glad to be able to form a partnership with them in bringing Chattanooga Eagles football here to the Tennessee Valley, and we'll be bringing you those broadcasts here. Dalton Danger will be the first game that will be coming your way February 24th from over at Chattanooga Central High School, and we'll be looking at a pregame start of either 6:30 or 6:45. Kickoff is slated for 7, so it will be fun to get back into football and being able to bring you that excitement here on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4, and of course with YouTube and Facebook Live, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you Facebook Live as well of the game. And more than likely, my sidekick and my colleague, Keon Rose, will be a part of that broadcast as well. He should be. He's the sports director, so he should be a part of that broadcast. So we'll see if it fits into his schedule and everything, and we'll give you all the details later on. And, of course, we'll be having a regular segment with the Chattanooga Eagles each week here on the Sports Talk with Sam Jordan as well. So great to be a part of Chattanooga Eagles football here in the Tennessee Valley. Now, yesterday I told you about Charlie Weiss Jr. becoming the offensive coordinator for Lane Kiffin over at Florida Atlantic University. It's interesting to note that there's one other coach that's out there looking for a new position somewhere. That's Todd Haley. He was let go as the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Haley has had his name thrown into the hat with a couple of vacancies, mostly in the NFL. But it'll be interesting to see whether that comes true or not. Head coach Mike Tomlin made the announcement Wednesday and said that he made the decision to not renew the contract for offensive coordinator Todd Haley. He thanked Todd for his contributions to the offense the past 6 years and wished him the best in his coaching future. Quarterbacks coach Randy Fichtner, who has worked closely with veteran signal caller Ben Roethlisberger for much of his career, is expected to be promoted to offensive coordinator, according to ESPN NFL insider Chris Mortensen. Haley had a successful 6-year run in Pittsburgh, helping the Steelers post top 10 scoring offenses in each of the past 4 seasons, franchise's longest such streak since the 1970s. But it just seems like Roethlisberger and Haley had different opinions as far as the direction of the offense. And, you know, when you've got Big Ben and that formidable Steelers offensive line, carries a little bit more weight than just an offensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting to see where Haley winds up. And especially after a couple bad plays that were called, especially on 4th and inches, and they pass up the middle, and then later on in the game going for the field goal instead of trying to get that first down or the touchdown. So, you know, Haley used to be with Arizona as their offensive coordinator back in 2008 with that Super Bowl run, and he took the head coaching job with Kansas City for the 2009 season, and he posted a 19-26 record with the Chiefs before being fired after week 14 of the 2011 season. But that's just one of many vacancies that are out there in the NFL. And I know Keon's probably talked about the different teams that are looking at different candidates. Titans, they're supposed to be interviewing Mike Rabel with the Houston Texans. He's the defensive coordinator. And then also Los Angeles Rams offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur has emerged as early candidates for the Titans job. And Vrabel, if you remember, was a part of the New England Patriots and spent 14 years in the NFL and a 3-time Super Bowl champ. So he's got the hardware on the rings, on the fingers, and would be a player's type of a coach. Spent 8 years playing at New England while Robinson was working up the Patriots scouting ranks. And, you know, it will be interesting. You know, the general manager of the team, Mr. Robinson, possibly looking at Mike Vrabel as their next coach. And then with Matt LaFleur, he was also the quarterback's coach for Atlanta from 2015 and 16 before taking the offensive coordinator's job this season with LA. And I'm telling you what, LA has really done an outstanding job. And, you know, it's unfortunate that they were knocked out of the playoffs here such early in the playoffs, but it's, you know, what the best that you do for that game, it's one and done in the playoffs. And, you know, with that, you know, the Rams will be looking to next season to make things happen. Want to tell you that make sure you listen into Russell Stroud and Val St. John every weekday morning with Chattanooga's Morning News. Starts at 6 a.m. And also, we've already seen some delays, a few closings that have came into the Nooga Radio 92.7 Traffic Center. And I'm sure that Russell will get you updated on that. You may even hear a little bit about that during the overnight hours. Nothing here in Hamilton County that I see has been postponed or delayed or closed. A few secondary areas like Marion County, Polk County, Grundy County that have actually announced their closing for tomorrow. Bledsoe County also, closing schools tomorrow. And then there's a few Georgia schools that are either delayed or closed. And Russell and Val will get you up to date with that with Chattanooga Morning News. If you have not listened, you really need to. It's the most informative 3 hours that you can find local. And you can find it with Russ and Val every weekday morning from 6 to 9. Also, beginning very soon, we will be having News 12 Now this morning with Kay Blevins, Jamal Williams, and Chip Chapman. That will be on from 5 to 6 a.m., just prior to Chattanooga Morning News. And it will be a complete simulcast with News 12 Now this morning. So we welcome that partnership here as well to Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Also, don't forget, you can get the latest traffic updates with Randy Price from the Chattanooga Traffic Network. And, of course, our good friend Patrick Core with News 12 Now with all your latest weather forecast. And you can get it all right here on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Your new home for Chattanooga Eagles football. All right, if you'd like to call in and participate in tonight's show, you can do so by calling at 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. Going on up in at the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency Ray Bell Region 2 building, today started the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission's first meeting of 2018. And today it was kind of more just committee meetings that were going on. They'll have their formal commission meeting starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. TWRA Waterfowl Program Coordinator Jamie Fedderson is going to be previewing the waterfowl and other migratory bird hunting seasons, including the sandhill cranes, for next fall and winter to the commission. There's changes in the timing of the federal regulation process in regard to waterfowl and migratory game bird hunting. The annual proposals are now made in January instead of later on. 2018-19 regulations will be voted on by the commission at next month's meeting there in February. So we'll hopefully have some news for you either tomorrow or possibly Monday with some of those changes and how the outcome of the meetings went up. I believe they're in Knoxville today and tomorrow. So stick to Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. We hopefully will have that information for you. Now, we've had a lot of closings with the schools here this week. You know, it's going to probably be a hectic time for a lot of schools to get their basketball games or wrestling matches in, or the indoor soccer season. So, you know, we were slated to be doing basketball games this week here on Nooga Radio, but because of the closings and stuff, there's no after-school activities going on. Totally closed, no games. So it will be interesting to find out what the revised schedule is going to look like, and probably there will be contests that will be back to back to back to back. It just seems like. So we probably had about 3 or 4 games on average per school that has had to be rescheduled because of the weather delays or closings that we've had to deal with here in the Chattanooga and Tennessee Valley area here recently. So stay tuned to Nooga Radio 92.7 FM with Sports Talk with Sam Jordan and or The Clutch with Keon Rose. We'll get you updated with all of the revised schedule changes that will be taking place here. Also, we want to keep reminding you, NASCAR is going to be getting underway here before we know it. February 11th, the Advanced Auto Parts Auto Clash will be going on during Speed Weeks down at Daytona. Then the 15th will be the Can-Am Duels. Be 2 races going on that night. And the 18th will be the Great American Race with the Daytona 500. And working together with Kathy Coulter over at Boyd Speedway, working with them. They're going to be a part of this, and we will be having a feature each week, more than likely on a Thursday night, talking about dirt track racing going on here in our area, and in particular with Boyd Speedway. So a lot of great things are happening here at Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. So NASCAR action will be here before you know it. First race here on Nooga Radio will be February 11th with the Advanced Auto Parts Auto Clash that will be going on as a precursor to the Can-Am Duels, and also with the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. We've got a lot of promotional things that we're working on as well in regards to NASCAR, where you'll have opportunities to win tickets to various races throughout the season, and it should be a lot of fun. Also, a week from tomorrow night, McKenzie Arena, University of Tennessee Chattanooga campus, downtown. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming to town, and they will be here for an exciting one-night event that will be going on at UTC's McKenzie Arena. And next week, we will be giving away tickets, and we will be giving away tickets. And if you didn't hear, we'll be giving away tickets for this great event. So make sure that you're listening throughout the entire day to Nooga Radio for your chance to win tickets to see the Harlem Globetrotters at McKenzie Arena here in Chattanooga next Friday night. And courtesy of your friends here at Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Also, many other great things. The Civic Click with Cindy and Sam will be getting underway here in February, Tuesdays from 11 to noon, talking with various political candidates that are running for office locally, regionally, and on the statewide level. And we'll be having that to keep you informed and being a better voter, and hopefully you do vote and take that privilege very seriously. A lot of important races that are coming up, and we'll have that as well. And we've got a few other things that are in the oven that's just not quite ready to talk about just yet, but very, very close. And also a few more things that could revamp a little bit of the lineup. But once that is all solid and finalized, then we will let you know about that as well. But as always, don't forget to join us with Sports Talk with Sam Jordan weeknights from 6 to 7. We also have different segments and features. Like I said, we'll be making the Eagles a part of a regular feature week to week, and also with Pred's Pulse with Sam Jordan III. We'll be talking with Kathy Coulter from Boyd Speedway, and a lot of other interesting features that we'll be incorporating into the show as well. So make sure that you're a part of all the fun and exciting things coming about here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. And as, of course, always, Chattanooga Morning News, 6 to 9 a.m. with Russell Stroud, Val St. John. They are outstanding, and you feel like you've learned a lot in a short period of time, and you can get all your information to start your day off right, beginning right after CBS World and National News here on Nooga Radio. Then Mike Gallagher sitting in for David Tulis until the 1st of February. And then, of course, we've got Bloomberg Politics, Power, Policy, and Law. That's on from 1 to 3. Noon to 1, we have a full hour of news. And then, of course, Bloomberg, and then Sean Hannity from 3 to 6, and then myself, then Keon Rose, and it just keeps getting better and better. All right. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a great evening, and stay warm, folks. Take care.